coming up, 3 bursts forward on the trim. As the power comes in, more right pedal as I pick the nose up, cowling above the horizon, but not as high as the exhaust stacks. I hold that nose there, 110, flaps come up, and power will be coming back 60 to 70 while trimming back and holding the nose up so it doesn't drop. Take a second to trim a little more, get it steady, then look for your interval. No interval, I look back off my nose, and I go into a 30-degree bank as I call my crosswind. 1, 2, 3, crosswind touching it. Now, since I went into a bank, more back trim, back trim, back trim. Notice how steady the picture is. Look into just a little bit into the turn for traffic, but making sure it's good and expecting as I'm looking for my downwind track here. As I get 50 feet prior to my pattern altitude, I'll put T-6A antennas to the horizon, pull my power back to 35, 37%. Trim, back trim, back trim, back trim, and now I pay attention between the runway and where my points are on downwind and the nose. Notice that nose is staying steady on the horizon. Now as I roll out, I'm going to pull my power to 31% and lower my nose just below the horizon for level flight. There it is, rolling out, going to my point in the distance, set my power and attitude, check my altitude and airspeed, and then I would look left for my pattern spacing. Let's go with the flaps. Flaps come to takeoff, power comes up 35, 37%. And then before landing, checklist. Defog's off, engine instrument checks, gear down, brakes are checked, flaps are takeoffs, speed brake retracted before landing, checklist complete. Let's see where we are. We're at the transition point already, so power pitch, lower the nose little, trim and back, now go into 30 degrees of bank, and as you go in, sweep your eyes to your rollout point and talk. 1, 2, 3, 180, gear down. Now I start my scan. Rollout point, aim point, in for my airspeed. Rollout point, flying to it with bank. Aim point, descending to the runway, inside for airspeed and AOA. Right here coming through the 90, I'll crack the power back, give more back trim, start slowing to my final speed for takeoff, which is 105. And I'm keeping that same scan going. Now as I finish my turn, I'm going to pay more attention to lining up on the center line of the runway, but you'll notice that the aim point, the end of the runway, is right in the middle of the HUD. Now I start my scan. Last chance check, gears down, negative lights on the RDO. Aim point, airspeed. Aim point, airspeed. Landing's assured. Power pause, start looking off the nose leveling, hit idle, and then a little flare, and you touch down.